Alright, so you got a fresh project. The only thing I did was move the play start so we don't have to keep running over here. So what we have here is the generator who put in the fuel, it goes down, and then you can't fill up the can. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this so that we can create a place where you can fill up the canister. So before we do anything else, we need to go into the spawner so that we can create a bool for adding the fuel. So this probably doesn't need to be done right now, but we're going to do it anyways. So we're going to create a new bool for start full. I'm going to duplicate it for start empty, because we need to use the data init if we want to set the canisters to go into this data init. So in order to get into the data init, we need to open up the data consumable. We need to call init. We're going to create a new function called get percent. We're just going to go back here. We'll call this, but we need to go to the actual main in order to call the to call those two bowls. So we're going to add the two bowls. One is going to be start full. The second is going to be start empty. And this can work for canisters that you drink from, get fuel from, batteries, whatever you need. So that's, since this is a parent, we're not going to actually put any code to it. We're going to go back up to the spawner. We're going to attach this, attach that. All right. So now that we got that, we can add on the spawner. Let's save. Oh, I didn't make exposed on spawn. All right. So now I don't know why it's not showing up. Oh, duh. Because I was on the generator, not the spawn. So now you have the canister to either start full or start empty. If you do start full and start empty, it will automatically do the start full just because of the branching system that I've been using in the canister. If you have it nothing, it will use a random bool. Or it will use a random float to determine what the fuel is, and you can make that divided by 0.5, so it's never more than half full. So we're just gonna leave this one as start full. We're gonna leave this one as start empty. We'll duplicate this, and then we'll have. So we're gonna have start full, start empty, and then this one is just gonna be nothing. So it'll be a random float. All right. So what we need to do now is we need to go back into. I don't think we need to be in the spawner anymore. The item consumable. We can do the code here. So what we need to do is basically copy the reduce percent is percent 0. We just need to duplicate that basically. So add percent, which I guess I could just copy it. So this, since we're adding percent, we just need to make sure that it's at 1%. It's going to stop. And then I did this wrong. Duplicate. So this is actually is percent 100. And then this is going to be at percent. So the only difference in this that we're doing is we're going to be calling a different dispatcher. So this is going to be percent full. We want this to be 1 just because it's going to be filling up and we don't want to go over 100%. And then we want to plus instead of minus because we're adding. And then that is done. And then we'll call percent full when it's done. This looks almost done. It's got percent, so let's get the get percent. So the only thing that this is doing basically is we're going to be adding from the event graph. We want this to go into there and this to go in there. But in order to do it, we have to add 2 inputs. Bulls from there to there. This is just start full, start empty. And then in the function for get percent, we're going to just simply do a branch, start full. If it doesn't want to start full, it's going to go to another branch. And then this is going to be set percent, which is this variable right here. We're going to duplicate this. So if we're starting full, and it is true, we want to start it at 1, which is 100%. If it is false, we want it to go here, which is 0%, so it's starting empty. And then if we want it to, if it's none of these are true, then we're just going to give it a random float. And that is all you need to do for this function. So item consumable is done. And then this item main, we don't need to do anymore because we've already added our bowls. So then the next thing that we need to do is we need to go into the inventory component, I believe. Oh no, we need to get into the, not the inventory component. We need to get into the BP generator, which you don't have to have as a generator. I'm going to rename mine to where it's just a machine that uses gas and water and whatever. You can set it for any variables, whether it accepts fuel or water or whatever. So is running on rep running. We're not messing with this. I'm just OCD. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to go to the event graph here. So shake when fuel equipped. So what we want to do is on the generator is, for me personally, I don't want, like, say like you have a water coming into something, it's not going to shake, like it's just going to be a water collector. So I'm just going to add a shake machine variable right here, which is going to go to a branch. So we'll actually move all this over. It's cool that they added the shake mechanic in it, so you don't actually have to figure out how to add that to yourself. So if shaking machine is true, otherwise you just skip the movement completely. So if the machine is not shaking, we'll still get the data asset, which is validated get, to reduce parent, set remain fuel. But if we want to add it, we're going to have to actually add the percent. So what we need to do is we need to add a variable here. So add liquid. Instead of take it away, I'm just going to put that at the top. Also, what I would do is I would add a button onto your machine that changes this variable so you can actually manually turn it on and off instead of just when it has fuel in it. So we want to get from here, we want to add the liquid, get branch, so if we are adding liquid, we don't want to do reduce percent. We want to add the percent, which is the function that we created on the data asset itself. So add, oh, I need to get it from here. Percent. False. We can duplicate this. Now, if we want to promote this to a variable, promote this to variable, which is just the, I just labeled it as liquid amount. You can do whatever you want. Liquid amount, it's the same. Compile, so you still have the 0.0032. I just did mine one more decimal. And then I want to print string just to confirm that it's working. Compile. I believe we are to the point of testing it. So this machine is going to add liquid. It's not going to have shaking machine on. This one is going to not add liquid, but shaking machine is turned on. So add liquid, no shaking, no liquid. All right. So we're going to play. So this one is full, I believe. So it's not, I may have printed string on the wrong variable. I did. You can see it going down there. Let's fix the print string. So it's not actually liquid that we want to do it. It's the percent. So this is adding liquid to the generator, so it's not going to do anything. And then here, it's taking it away. So we'll wait until like 9.4. So you got 9.4. 9.3, and then this is going to start adding the fuel at 9.3. So you can tell that it's using the same data asset to take away fuel and to add fuel. So we'll drop it on the ground. This is supposed to be completely empty, so it's not going to do anything until we add fuel to it. Oh, that didn't work. So this is adding fuel there. So let me see why this one start empty. This is adding fuel. So let's look at the item data. Start empty is true. Set percent to 0. Alright, I believe I have forgotten a part of the step. Oh, yep, so we need to, since we added it in our item consumable, we need to add the addition section to this section. So after we cast to our data asset, we need to add the liquid branch, since it normally would stop when it's at 0 or it's empty. But if it's at empty and it's add liquid, we want it to we want it to continue working. So we need to move this down. I'm just going to duplicate this. We'll fix this warning. We need to get on. Oh wait, we need to. If anybody doesn't know, if you hit T dot, it's the fastest way to a custom event. So we want to name this to on percent full, and just so we're keeping everything basically the same type of name stats as what was there before. We're doing the same thing. But we don't want to do as percent full. We want to do is percent 100%. And then we want to, I should change that from 0 to 100 in the event. It doesn't really matter for this purpose, but I will do it at the end so you can change it yourself, and this will connect there. So I will just move this right here. So if add is true, we want to go to there. If add is false, we want to go to there. So we're just going to clean this up a little bit. Okay, so this should work now on the empty asset. So the empty one, full, empty, and this is add liquid. Okay, so now it starts to work, and you can see the green bar going up there. If you want to change how fast something fills up or is in use, you would do that on the data asset in the percent. Maybe I spoke too soon. Let's change this first to full. It's on the generator. I mean, you would just change the liquid amount, and you could make this a float. That way, for like this generator, it fills up super fast. Boom, done, full, and then it won't stop doing it anymore. Need to fix the need to fix that. Oops, I left in the generator. So this is not my code. So this is something that we'll have to fix in the background. It's not getting the percent of the fuel canister, like the actual updated canister to grab it. It thinks it's still at empty unless it is unless there's some like gone from it. Yeah, so it still thinks it's completely empty. But that's not in this video. This is just showing how to make a generator or machine that can fill and one that can use, and your canisters that can stand at different different floats for whether it's full, empty, or just a random thing. All right, that's it.